My name is Jake, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about 10 random ways that I save money so that I can invest more into my dividend portfolio. Here what you see on your screen. Those of you that follow the channel, you know that I transfer money every single week into my portfolio. And this money is coming from my earned income from my 9-to-5 job. So I'm working every single week so that I can fund my portfolio. I'm also looking for new ways to earn more money. You know, side hustling. I have rental properties down here in Austin, Texas, where I live, and I try to see, okay, what can I do to earn more money? And also, part of that is, where can I save money? What can I do on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis so that I can keep more dollars in my pocket so that I have more money every month left over so that I can invest into my portfolio? And I'm going to share with all of you 10 ways that I, as a normal dude, normal guy here in Austin, Texas, saves money every single month. And I think it's going to surprise you how much I save every single month. And this doesn't really factor in the family aspect of it. It's really just looking at my own personal life. If I were to also incorporate this with my wife's spending, it would actually be much higher. And you know, down the road, as we grow our family and have kids, this is also going to be impacted as well. And you know, the number is going to increase. All right. And I know that there's a very broad or diverse crowd of people that view and watch my videos. I know that not everybody is viewing my videos from the United States. There's people abroad in Europe. I know there's quite a few followers in Canada, across the globe. So the demographic is very, very broad when it comes to those people that are watching my videos. And I know that there's going to be a few people that you know, when they watch a video like this, okay, 10 random ways that I save money, they're probably thinking to themselves, okay, well, why doesn't this guy just talk about dividends? Why doesn't he just talk about companies that I should invest in or companies that are good investments? And you know, I've watched and followed other channels, and I think a lot of other channels do that, and they're great at it. Something that I've done for myself when I created this channel, I wanted to create content that I, as a new investor, would be interested in watching. And it's just kind of unique to me, how I like to how I am as a creator here on this platform. And I know that not everybody's going to agree with that. And a lot of people are going to think and say, okay, well, just talk about this type of strategy. Just talk about investing into certain companies, why I should invest into this or that. And there's a lot of viewers out there that think that way, you know, and I respect that. When I hear that, when I think of, okay, well, why doesn't he just talk about this, or why doesn't he just talk about that? It kind of reminds me of this.
Excuse me, Mr. Shrek. Could you do that ogre roar of yours for my son? He's a big fan.
Do the roar.
You know, I'd rather not. It's my kid's birthday party.
Do the roar.
Well, as long as you're not doing anything, how about one of those famous Shrek roars?
Do the roar.
Let me set you straight, Butterpants. An ogre only roars when he's angry. You don't want to see me angry, do you?
Do it.
Hold it together. Just hold it together.
Daddy, he's getting away. Do something.
All right. So the very first random way that I save money is not being wasteful. Reusing things that I can reuse, not ordering more food or making more food and ultimately throwing part of it away. That is a huge issue that we have here in the United States, is being wasteful. And one random, just completely random way that I try to be resourceful is with my body wash. Right. And for those of you that have, you know, you've seen or you've used Olay body wash or whatever it may be, whatever brand, and you're down to the very last sliver of body wash, and you know that there's a little bit left, and it just pains you to think about throwing this away. So what do? If you're like me, I open up the top of the lid and I fill it up with a little bit of water. I shake it up and I keep using it. Right? That is the first random way that I save money, is by not being wasteful. And by not being wasteful, I save on average, and I've averaged this over months, I'm saving around $10 on stuff just like this. Not being wasteful with my body wash, and wasting food and stuff like that. All right, the second random way that I save money is by buying in bulk. And one of the very first time that I heard about this was actually through Mark Cuban. I was watching a video of Mark Cuban on how everyday people can save money. Now, by buying in bulk, by going to Costco, by going to Sam's Club, whatever it may be, and buying, for example, your toilet paper or your everyday essentials on sale in bulk, is a huge way that you can save money over the course of the year. Some stuff that I buy in bulk, for example, yes, toilet paper, yes, toothpaste, toothbrushes, floss, all those different things that I know that I'm going to need every single day, whether it be today or 6 months from now. And obviously I look at the expiration date. Another example would be with multivitamins. Stuff when I see that it's on sale and then I know that I'm going to be using it, I definitely buy in bulk. And that's the second way that I save. And I've looked at this over the last couple of months, month over month. I'm saving on average around $50 every single month by buying in bulk. The third way that I save money every single month is on my cell phone plan. And I'm saving about $67 every single month just on my cell phone plan. And you know, maybe you're like me where you went with one of the big four, whether it be T-Mobile, AT&T, or whatever, and you just thought that that's really all there was out there. And when I was doing some research and digging into, okay, well, how can I save money on my phone, my cell phone plan, I came across Mint Mobile. And Mint Mobile, I absolutely loved it. I've shared another video specifically on Mint Mobile and what my experience was switching over from one of the big four carriers over to one of these, you know, maybe off-brand, I guess you could say, cell phone plans. You can go check that video out. But ultimately, I'm saving about $67 a month just by switching my cell phone plan. I mean, this is absolutely huge. Now, the fourth way that I save money, and probably the biggest way that I save money on a monthly basis, is through meal prepping. For those of you that don't know what meal prepping is, essentially what you're doing is you're buying in bulk and you're cooking multiple meals. What I typically do is I do it on Sunday night for the whole week, and I don't make meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I usually just make it for lunch. And I bring my Tupperware with me, my lunch, every single day, Monday through Friday. And instead of going out and spending $8 or $9 at Chipotle or whatever, I'm bringing my healthy self-made meals with me every single day. And that comes into play also with the buying in bulk, because I'm buying chicken in bulk, I'm buying vegetables in bulk, all of those things. And then I'm preparing them at home. And by doing that, I'm saving roughly $135 every single month. All right, the fifth way that I save money is by buying secondhand items. Now, I don't like to buy things that are new when I don't have to. For example, I really like buying used cell phones, used cars, a random thing. If you own your own home, I really like buying used washer and dryers. If I look at a washer and dryer at, I don't know, Best Buy or at wherever, they can run anywhere from $1,500 to sometimes even $2,000, where you can go on Facebook ads or Craigslist and you can find pretty much the exact same type of washer and dryer for a fourth of the price. And that is one way that I save, is not going out and buying things brand new, if I can help it. And what I've noticed over the last couple of months, I've saved roughly $45 to $50 every single month by doing that. The sixth way that I save money is through what we call the credit card hack. I absolutely love this. This is a big one. By simply using my credit card and gathering points on everyday purchases, I'm able to save money on every single purchase, every week, every month. And last year in 2019, with my venture card through Capital One, I saved on average $80 a month just in points. I paid $0 in interest. And at the end of the year, Capital One, they sent me a summary of 2019. I earned 95,000 miles. That equates to $954 if I were to use that on approved purchases like travel, whatever it may be. So $954 in 2019 alone. Now, 2019, I had a few more expenses that I had in previous years, things that had to do with my rental property, stuff like that. So I had a few more expenses, but nonetheless still made $954 that I would have otherwise not made if I would have just used my debit card or paid in cash. Okay, and you can see, okay, yes, we for those of you that follow the channel, you know that my wife and I, we recently traveled and went on a vacation to New Zealand. We went there in December, and we also saved on foreign transaction fees that we otherwise would have had if we would have had a different credit card or used our bank card. And also what I do is I have my wife set up as an authorized user. So because on my card, I get a few more points. I get 2 points for every dollar spent. So effectively 2% back on every purchase, everything. And I have my wife also, when she goes to the store for us or does anything, I have her also use my card. So we get points from that as well, because her card right now only pays 1.5%. So I know it's really focusing on the nitty gritty there, but it's every cent counts, and it really adds up. The 7th way that I save money is by doing it yourself. Now, this is another big one. My wife and I, we have a small little standalone home here. We have a yard, we have 2 vehicles, and with that comes a lot of maintenance. And I know a lot of our neighbors here in this area, it's very common for our neighbors to outsource their lawn mowing to someone else. And on average, they're spending anywhere from $70 to $100 every single month just on lawn care. And also, for example, simple things with changing your cabin air filter in your vehicle, right? When we went to go to the dealership, they wanted to charge over $100 just to switch out our cabin air filter. And what I did was I looked online on eBay, and I bought the exact same air filter that the dealership was going to use for $13, right? So doing simple things yourself can have tremendous savings, not only in the short term, but over the long term. And by doing it yourself, on average, from just mowing my lawn to changing my cabin air filter, just simple stuff like that, I'm saving on average, I've measured it out or averaged it out to about $80 every single month. The 8th way that I save money is by cutting my own hair. Well, actually, I don't cut my own hair. I have my wife cut my own hair. Before, I would go about every 2.5 months to Great Clips, nothing too fancy, and I was spending about, I don't know, with tip, anywhere from $18 to $20. And it kind of took a little bit of negotiating with my wife, but she agreed to actually cut my hair for me. And by doing that, by getting my hair cut by her, it saves me on average over the course of the year about $8 a month. The 9th way that I save money is by focusing and buying generic brands over your more mainstream brands. Now, a few examples would be with grocery items, medicine, and what I've noticed is if you look at the back label, the contents or the ingredients are fairly almost identical. And the generic brands, the reason why they're able in a lot of cases to keep the cost so low is they're not spending millions and millions of dollars every year on advertising. They don't have the marketing spend that these other leading brands have every single year. So they're able to keep their costs low. And I love buying generic brands because it's more money in my pocket that I can use to invest into my dividend growth portfolio. The 10th way that I save money is what I like to call the abandoned cart hack. Now, I used to work for an email marketing company, and we provided a solution for abandoned carts. And we would focus on retailers that are working B2C, working with consumers and focusing on retargeting, and in this case, abandoned carts. Where, for example, if you go in and you are on a company's website and you enter in a product into your shopping cart, and then you abandon it, or for whatever reason you get distracted and you click exit and you don't continue and purchase the product, what you'll likely notice, maybe you've already noticed this before, is that you're getting an email maybe a few hours later, maybe even a day later, with the product that you have in your shopping cart and a little bit of an incentive, a discount, a 15% off, a 20% off, a $10 off, so that you can, it's the way that the retailer can close out on that sale that they otherwise would have not gotten. And the company that I worked at, we sold specifically this type of technology to retailers all across North America. And thousands and thousands of companies, retailers, online retailers, use abandoned cart technology for their website. So this is one way, and knowing that as a consumer, what I like to do, and it doesn't always work, but what I like to do is if I know that I'm going to need new shoes or a new pair of sports clothing or whatever it may be, I will then purposely go to one or two websites, search out the item, put it into my cart, and then abandon it. And if I don't get an email with a discount code within a day or two, I will then go and purchase the product, obviously for full price. But you would be surprised how often the abandoned cart hack actually works, and you do get that 15 or 10% off. Now, it's a win-win. The company likely would have, because it's competitive, right? So the company likely, had they not sent out that email with that incentive, they likely would have not gotten my business in some cases. So it's a win for the business, it's a win for the consumer, and that's why I call it the abandoned cart hack. It doesn't always work, but when it does, it leaves you as the consumer, even if you're only saving $5 or $10, it leaves you feeling really, really great. And I absolutely love it because I'm going to use those $5 or $10 and invest it into my portfolio. And on average, I'm saving right around, $10, $12, $15 a month on the abandoned cart hack. Okay, so these are the 10 ways that I save money every single month. And once again, these are averaged out. Some of these are over a year, and I just took it and divided it by 12. But as you can see, the way that I save the most money is by meal prepping. Saving money on groceries, on food, is by far the biggest way that I personally save money. If I were to go to work, and if I were to go to Chipotle or go to the cafeteria by my work or go out to eat, I'm spending on average anywhere from $8 to $10. And by meal prepping, I'm saving on average, this is just me, $135 on average every single week. Now that's the main way that I save money. And a few others would be, for example, the credit card hack, the do-it-yourself, and the discounted cell phone plan. So those are different ways that I save money. On average, every single month, I'm saving around $500. And those $500, I'm investing into my portfolio. So in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I'm transferring money every single week from my earned income into my portfolio. Now, I'm able to invest the amount of money that I do every single month because I'm also able to save money in other areas. If I wasn't saving money in these other areas, I would not be able to invest as much every single week, every month into my portfolio. Okay, and so what I've done is I've looked at, okay, well, I'm kind of a planner. I like to look into the future and see, okay, well, what would this mean for my portfolio over the long term? And so what I did is I went over here to the Investopedia dividend investment calculator. I absolutely love this calculator. It's great to simulate what it would look like for your returns over the next 10, 20, 30 years. With the following assumptions. Okay, so if I'm investing monthly $500 and I'm investing into dividend growth companies that are growing their dividend, let's say 10% on average every single year, and with a current dividend yield of 2.5%, if I were to do this for 20 years, and with the current assumed inflation rate of just over 2% and the assumed growth rate of the share price, that being right at 8.5%, and my current age of 33. So what is going to be my annual cash flow if I do this? If I do this for the next 20 years. And so if I do that, by the time I'm 53, I'm going to have just over $14,000 in annual cash flow. And something that's also really cool, the actual capital in the portfolio will be just under $500,000. And so just because it's only $500 every single month, and we think about that, okay, I'm only saving $100 by meal prepping every single month. What is that? It's not a big deal. But if you actually put it into perspective, and if you do this long term, and you allow your investment to compound over time, it actually has a massive impact on your overall portfolio and your cash flow in your portfolio over the long term. All right, everybody, those were the 10 random ways that I was able to save $500 every single month so that I can invest more into my dividend growth portfolio. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was entertaining. I hope that there was a few on the list here that you may have not have thought of before. I'd be curious to hear what ways you save money. Things that everyday investors can do. Doesn't have to be rocket science, doesn't have to be completely crazy, just random ways that everyday people can save money. In next week's video, I have a really, really special topic that I'm going to talk about. I share I've shared on the channel here that I've recently invested into real estate, physical real estate here in Austin, Texas. And I have some numbers that I want to share with everybody, my own personal real life example of what it's like investing into a dividend growth strategy and what it's like investing into real life real estate, and what are the differences, not only from, yes, okay, what is more passive, what is less passive, but also the numbers behind it. And I think you're going to be surprised by the outcome. And I also have content that I'm going to share from another YouTuber here that I've reached out to and asked for permission to share content from their channel. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. So if you're new to the channel, I'd invite you to subscribe. If this video helped you out, I'd ask you to hit the like button, and I will catch everybody in the next video.